I broke up with my boyfriend because I refused to pay his mom rent. We'd been together 2 years, not 2 months, not 6 months, 2 full years. We met through mutual friends, hit it off immediately, and built something I genuinely believed was real. He was funny, consistent, remembered small things about me, called when he said he would, showed up. For 2 years, I had zero complaints, so when moving in together came up, I didn't think twice. We'd been talking around it for months, dropping hints, joking about whose couch was more comfortable, whose neighborhood we'd rather be in. When he finally brought it up seriously, I was ready, excited. I had a rough idea of what neighborhoods I wanted, what our budget looked like, how we'd split things down the middle. I thought we were on the same page. We were not on the same page. He sits me down one evening with this look on his face like he's about to present a business proposal. He tells me he has a plan. I'm thinking, okay, great, maybe he found a good apartment deal. Maybe he looked at listings. And then he starts talking. His plan was to move into his parents' house, not a guest house, not a separate unit, his childhood bedroom, same room he grew up in, same furniture, same house where his mom makes dinner every night. He said it with real confidence, like I was going to nod along and say, wow, great thinking, when do we start packing? I asked if he was serious. He said yes, completely serious. His mom had already agreed. The room was big enough for two. We'd have privacy. It would save us money. He had convinced himself this was smart, and he had already talked to his mom about it before saying a single word to me. That part stung. He looped her in before he looped me in. I stayed calm. Told him living with parents wasn't something I was willing to do. I'd done that chapter and I was finished with it. I wanted our own space, our own lease, our own front door. Told him I was happy to help financially if money was the real issue. We could make a plan, start saving, set a timeline. I just needed to know we were moving towards something. He said he'd think about it. A few days later, he came back with a revised plan. His mom had conditions. I could move in, but I'd pay rent. $600 a month to her. Not toward a mortgage, not to a landlord, to his mom. Plus $100 a month for groceries. $700 total every month to live in his childhood bedroom. And him, zero. Same as always. He'd lived there rent-free his entire life and that wasn't changing. I work at a restaurant 6 days a week. I eat almost every meal there during my shifts. There is no reason I should contribute $100 a month to someone else's grocery bill. That money would feed his family during meals I wasn't even home for. I told him this was insane. Not dramatic, genuinely, objectively insane. He would pay zero. I would pay $700. We'd share a childhood bedroom and his mom would collect from me like I was a paying tenant while her son lived free under the same roof. He told me his mom was just being reasonable. Reasonable. I laid it out clearly. A 1-bedroom in our area ran about $1,200 a month, split evenly, $600 each. He could afford that. I could afford that. We'd have our own space, our own rules, and we'd both contribute equally. That's what moving in together is supposed to look like. He said that wasn't fair to him. I asked him how paying $600 toward our own apartment was less fair than me paying $700 to live in his mother's house while he paid nothing. He had no answer, just kept circling back. He wasn't ready for that kind of financial responsibility. He had a good situation and didn't want to give it up. Living at home was smart, practical, more people should do it, and something shifted in me when he said that. He wasn't being practical, he was comfortable. There's a real difference. Practical means you're building towards something. Comfortable means you've convinced yourself that staying still is the same as making progress. He had no intention of leaving that house, not on his own. And in his head, I was going to be the one who made it work. Paying his mom, funding the groceries, folding my life into a room he'd outgrown years ago. Also, he could stay exactly where he was without it costing him anything. I told him I was going to find my own place. He nodded, then said he'd come stay over whenever he wanted. I told him no. If he was choosing his mom's house, he could stay there. My apartment would be mine. I wasn't going to let him freeload off me the same way he freeloaded off her. He said I was punishing him for being financially responsible. I didn't respond. Signed a lease the following week by myself. He called twice, left a voicemail, said I was overreacting, said his mom's offer was actually generous if I thought about it. I did not call back.